Welcome to Lisbon, Portugal. Yes, gente. Welcome to Lisboa in Portugal. This is a beautiful city that we went to. The first thing we did was take a free walking tour, and you can find that on discoverlisbon.org. A lot of different options for walking tours. The first church we went to was this one. This church has a really, really interesting history. A lot of tragic things happened in this church, actually, because during the many earthquakes that plagued Lisbon, some of them actually happened and around this church. This church has never completely fallen apart, so it's considered blessed by many. But at the same time, there was a massacre of Jewish people right in front of this church once, because of the tensions between the very Catholic Portuguese people and the Jewish people that went to live there. And so that's very tragic. So it's like a mix, you know. Some people say this church is blessed, some say it's a disaster. So I don't know, but it is very big and very beautiful. And then after this church, we went to see learn about the history of fado, and we learned about this wonderful fado singer called Amália. She is well known in Lisbon and in the whole of Portugal because of her talent and everything she brought to Portugal. She was an independent woman, she never married, and she inspired many women to do the same thing, you know. And so she was revolutionary in Portugal. And then we also learned about the history of these tiles that they have everywhere around in Portugal. We learned that it was actually coming from a lot of the Arab cultures, especially, you know, those people living in the area of Morocco and such. They brought this over to Portugal. This is one of the oldest houses that you can find in Lisbon too, at the Rua dos Cegos, that we got to see, which was really cool. And then the guide took us around to see all the miradouros, or, you know, places to high up in the city to look around all the beautiful view of the city. They have many of those all over Lisbon. Lisbon is a very hilly city, you know, you have to walk around hills a lot. I would actually not recommend you go to a lot of the old city of Lisbon if you have a wheelchair, because it can get pretty hard to get by with the accessibility. However, you can totally go to the more modern area and you'll be able to find ramps and everything. So, but yeah, a lot of places you have to, you know, just walk up very narrow streets. It's a workout, you know, definitely. Then this beautiful tile here we saw. I just had to do a close-up because it was so beautiful, you know. And then these beautiful trees as well. You know, it was summer there, so it was pretty hot. But thankfully this day was cloudy, so we were able to walk around with not a lot of issues getting hot. And then after that we went to see the Igreja de Santo Antônio, which is a church where Santo Antonio, or Saint Anthony, was born, you know, in Lisbon. And Saint Anthony is known for being a wedding blesser, so he blesses, you know, unions and weddings, and they have this tradition throwing coins in his statue. And then after that we decided to go for a little typical Portuguese dinner. The guide recommended us to go to this restaurant to try their bacalhau do Brás, or cod of Brás, which is a region in Portugal. And we did try it. It was a very interesting dish. I never tried anything like that. I love cod, you know, in Brazil we have a lot of cod as well because of the Portuguese influence. But this particular dish wasn't my favorite. I prefer other kinds of cod that are also Portuguese. But, you know, it was really neat to be able to try it at least, you know. And then right in front of this restaurant, there is another version of the Christ the Redeemer statue, which you can also recognize from being in Rio de Janeiro, or Rio de Janeiro, that's how I really say it. Yeah, so there's the same statue in Rio. And then look at this group of Brazilians. Everywhere around the city, you know, it's full of Brazilian people, and they were just having a little samba party on the street. And I was dancing as well. I was really enjoying it. I loved how many Brazilian people were there, you know. They're so happy as well. Very high energy, awesome people. And they're everywhere in Portugal. And then I was just posing in front of this Ferris wheel. I don't really know what this was, but you know, I was just having a great time. I've had some sangria at this time, so I was feeling pretty happy. But yeah, you know, we were walking around at night in Lisbon, and we noticed that, oh, those are sardines actually, guys. They love sardines over there. So yeah, it was just a Ferris wheel made of sardines, which is pretty amazing actually. And we walked around in Lisbon a lot. It's very, very high energy at night. The city, you know, people stay up until very late, as it is in a lot of, you know, European cities. And then we found this place that has vegan pastéis de nata, which is their typical pastry there in Portugal. And I can't believe they have a vegan version, you know, because the real version with, you know, milk and eggs, it's so good, but this one is too. It was amazing. And then just showing the city, you know, walking around, seeing the nightlife, which is pretty wonderful there. People, you know, dancing in their porches to the street party that was happening. I think the government puts up these street parties a lot. And James was really enjoying himself too. There were like street vendors selling sangria and like Aperol spritz and pastries and everything, and then people just dancing, families, kids, you know, it's for everyone just enjoy themselves. They were even doing this dancing here, which I thought was really cute. So yeah, just enjoy the nightlife of Lisbon. Then, as you can see, we went to the Time Out Market in Lisbon, Portugal. This is just a space where you have a lot of different restaurants and bars from Lisbon. And there was the Euro Cup playing at that time, so people were celebrating a goal all together there. It was pretty nice. I went to a restaurant called Simi, which was a seafood restaurant, and I had the sardines, sushi, as you can see, and a plate of pasta. The pasta was okay, but the sushi was really good, so I'd recommend that. And then we took a Flixbus, which only cost about €10 each, and it took about 2 hours to get to Fátima, which we really wanted to see.
So we're in Fátima. This is one of the basilicas here behind us. It's absolutely beautiful. You can see the stunning gardens and everything around the area. The story of Fátima is the story of the appearance of the Blessed Mother, Mary, to 3 children who are in Fátima. And she essentially said, look, faith around the world is dwindling, and I'm not okay with this. So I need you 3 children to spread it around the world again and revive, the interest in saying the rosary and in praying. And so she visited them a few times. The kids obviously told the people from the town. And then the Blessed Mother had 3 things for them. The first was actually a vision of hell and what it looked like. The second was a statement that said, if Russia doesn't convert to Catholicism or Christianity, then there's going to be another war. People think, looking back, that this was a hint that when they didn't do that, that was the start of World War II in the Soviet Union. And the third thing she said was only given to the Vatican for many, many years, but it was a priest in white will be assassinated. And that was, looking back, people think that it was a comment about Pope John Paul II's attempted assassination. So after that, the townspeople were obviously, upset and been like, you can't say these things, it's blasphemy, etc. So Mother Mary gave them a miracle. 7,000 or so people gathered in a town square and looked at the sun, and all of a sudden the sun started dancing in the sky, moving around, zigzagging, coming towards them and going away. And this was a miracle. The Catholic Church has accepted this as a full miracle, and there's a whole town, essentially, the tourism of town is set up based on this miracle. So there's a lot of really nice churches here. There's masses going on like every 2 hours, and it's actually got a very, very nice feeling to it. In the area, it's very peaceful, it's very calming. We just went and sat in the churches for a while and just, enjoyed it. It's a very nice place you should actually go visit, especially if you're in the hustle and bustle of Lisbon and just want to get away. It's really nice. I mean, look at that.
And then the next day, we actually went on a day trip to Cascais, which is about a 1 hour to 2 hour trip from Lisbon. You can take the subway and a train to get there. And we went with one of my cousin's friends, Caio, who you can see there. He lives in Lisbon, and he's a Brazilian guy, and he took us over to see Cascais. And it is a beautiful, beautiful beachside town. It's truly a getaway from Lisbon, so it's none of that hustle and bustle either. Pretty much chill, just like Fátima, but in a different way, because this one is more to, party and just have a relaxing time at the beach. And as you can see, there's a lot of people there, a lot of families too. The water, I actually went in the water there a little bit, at least for my foot. I put my foot in the water, and it was pretty cold, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I think in a really, really hot heat of the summer, it's actually pretty nice. And there are these little streets out there too, which with shops, different bars. You can eat plenty of good food there. We went on a really cute bar with Caio, and he also showed to us that there are these floaties there that you can pay a fee and go in the. It's like a water park in the ocean, which we thought was pretty cool. And then these cave formations, let's just call it that, which are coming out of the ocean. It's almost like a natural pool, you know, with no waves. So it's pretty cool if you want to go check it out. And that's me dying to ride the bike, falling over myself all the time.
So Barbara doesn't really know how to ride a bike or use a scooter. She almost ate it on the scooter 3 times. Pedal! Eita!
So yeah, as you can see, I tried the bike, I tried the scooter, nothing was working. I was falling over myself everywhere, and we were just trying to make it because we were going to Belém next, which was pretty close by, so we wanted to take this to go there, but it wasn't easy for me, I'll tell you that much. Then we finally got to Belém. You can see there the Belém Monastery, and the place we went to next was where these priests from this monastery make their pastry called pastéis de Belém, which are basically the pastéis de nata I showed you before, but they're from Belém because they're made over there and they're delicious, famous worldwide. We're gonna order here from the table and we're gonna get our first pastéis de Belém. So it's a really nice place. You don't have to make a reservation or anything. There's plenty of seating, and usually they have everything, so you don't have to worry. This is so good, you guys. It is different than the pastéis de nata. It is very unique. The outside is super crispy and the inside is super creamy, and it comes out warm too. It's delicious. I love it.
It legit is better than every other pastel de nata.
So in the end, just want to say thank you so much for following us on our journey around the world for 6 months. We're gonna have more videos coming up, but thank you for following this part when we were in Lisbon. And I hope you like and subscribe if you would like to, and I'll see you next time. Bye!